If you're thinking about starting a business today, you have an idea, I can't think of a better time in, in history to launch a business today. Why? Hi, I'm Vijay Tirathrai, a serial entrepreneur turned investor. Currently, my day job is the managing director at Techstars, also heading the region for Middle East, North Africa, Turkey, Pakistan, and India. So when I think about growth metrics, I tend to think about lagging and leading indicators. And I think that distinction is very crucial. In the case of leading indicators is where really I tell entrepreneurs to think about. And then you have behavioral indicators to very specific indicators that are signals to growth. So when you're looking at, say, on the other side of the spectrum, lagging indicators, they're usually too late in the process to be able to ascertain opportunities. But when you look at the leading side of the indicators on that spectrum, you generally get signals about where to modify behavior, modify strategy, and pivot occasionally to address opportunities for growth. Whether it's to do with product development, whether it's to do with go-to-market strategy, leading indicators is really a signal. So what would be, they say, the top three that comes to mind for me? For example, lead generations, impressions on social media like IG, for example. Those would be great examples for B2C. When you think about B2B examples, you think about basically, net promoter scores, interviews with customers, early surveys, proof of concept. What are those signals from both quantitative and qualitative indicators will suggest whether you have a great chance of closing a sale or whether the product is being well received by a B2B customer. Typical challenges for early stage companies. One is please don't run out of cash, because once you run out of cash, there's really no oxygen or blood in your system. And so that's the number one job of the CEO, is to keep a company afloat. Number two is really, I think the challenge is when do you really get product market fit? And I think product market fit is one of the biggest challenge for a lot of startups going to market. They can get into a phase where I call false positives. So you might have some early adopters, some early customers, but generally that's not really a guaranteed success for product market fit. You need to have a certain repeatability and scalability in the initial phase of going full commercialization to create a sense of sustained business model that that you have a flywheel that's well in progress, there's velocity in that flywheel, that you can generate sufficient customers that comes back on a repeat basis. And so for me, those are great characteristics of making sure that product market fit is a key ingredient. Of course, not running out of cash. But the last thing I would add to that list in my top three is basically evolving the team at different stages of the growth. So team dynamics often change when you're scaling from 0 to 1, when you're 3 members in your team to 30 members to 300. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are not prepared for that growth in terms of managing a larger team. So I'll be very conscious about thinking about how you manage your talent pool as you scale rapidly. So at Techstars, we're well known around the world as having mentorship-led programs. And what really that means is basically we tap into the wider community of mentors to really help the entrepreneur to really validate or invalidate ideas, to get access to connections around the world, to really give them a hard, so to speak, a hard feedback, what's really working, what's not really working. Often it's easy for the founder to live in their own bubble without really getting a lot of validation. So I think having mentors surrounding yourselves from different domain expertise, it could be basically in technology or marketing or legal or finance, but surrounding yourself with some really amazing people to help you shorten that the journey to get from point A to B faster, because you're learning so much through the mentor experience that will allow companies to really scale far more effectively. So at Techstars, basically we encapsulate that experience in a 3 months intensive mentorship program. We love to say at Techstars that we do more faster, And really what that means is condensing a 2-year journey of the entrepreneur down to 3 months. And the results are just phenomenal. So as an entrepreneur, I think early on, if you get success, it's not necessarily the best thing. I think to have multiple failures early on in your journey is a really good thing, because every failure is a learning opportunity. So if the idea is that each failure can be a teachable moment, that would be a great way to look in terms of journey as an entrepreneur. So I've learned the hard way, having had multiple failures, but also when I gained my success, reflecting back, it's all about really reflecting on the learnings that I've got through those failure points. So I think being a serial entrepreneur, there is no guaranteed success that every business that you launch subsequently, it will be a success. The circumstances will be different in terms of market dynamics. The circumstances going to product, to the market will be very different. So surrounding yourselves with great mentors as well as advisors would have been something that I would tell to my younger self that I should be surrounding with in launching and growing a business. If you're thinking about starting a business today, you have an idea, I can't think of a better time in history to launch a business today. Why? Because you have such an incredible, far more developed ecosystem to support entrepreneurs' journey, from mentorship, access to capital, access to a network in various economies and various ecosystems around the world. And here, for example, in Lahore, Daftarkhwan is a good example, where it's a hub for really people to come together, whether they're entrepreneurs, engineers, people in the marketing field, to connect and collaborate. And I think the idea of going to business should not be a lonely journey. It should be one which is full of collaboration. And I think that's what I would advise young entrepreneurs today, is to think about building a phenomenal network, because that network is going to carry you in your entire journey to be successful. Do more faster, and wish you all the best.